And for the record, I've never ever done that, but I understand. Trust me. I definitely understand. You don't know me. You don't know me.
You know none of us, and we know each other far more than you do. Do not try to impose your morality on us.
And yet, if it was one of you being controlled, how would you feel?
I'd say do it. Don't let my body go to waste.
Look.
But I am kind of a psychopath.
I'll have my objections. I'll go with your plan, but that doesn't mean I like it. Just assure me that you'll release him. Give me your word. From one man to another, from one person to another.
My word means anything to you, Rowan?
Is Rowan? I think Rowan's asking me. Sorry, is Rowan asking me, or is he asking Morrigan? Sorry.
You seem to have a lot more eloquence.
I will release our subject when it's no longer needed. Yes.
Our subject. Holy shit.
Again, as much as my word will carry anything, I don't have direct control over the man, but you have my word that I will make sure that your point gets across, that we will release this man after we are done. We have accomplished our goal. I understand you don't like the tactic we're using, but it's the most efficient one that's going to help us survive. These are sometimes the decisions which I'm sure you understand as a warrior that you need to make in the battlefield or in a grand scheme of a war.
I know. Sometimes the hardest decisions need to be made, but
I know you're a plucky new
do what you need to do.
And love the Templars and love your new job and all that, but I think you can get Garner that I'm not too into the Templars. I've yet to meet a nice Templar willing to try and do anything good. So as you can understand, like, you seem to be slightly different, which I don't know if that's what all Templars are like to begin with, and then they get into the thingy, but Templars have made worse decisions than this before. And we need to survive.
So, Ron, if you want to, as much as I said I was against it, but if you want to escort the other 3 men back, and then we will do what we need to do here, so you're not a part of it.
Then we need to go up the stairs there anyway.
Yeah, we need to go up there, but it's just better that maybe for I don't know.
No.
Well, at the very least, I want to.
I get the gesture.
At the very least, I want to take these 3 men. See if they can be healed in some way.
Okay.
Anyone has knowledge arcane may attempt to understand what's happened to them. Religion is also possible, though it is harder to do. Rowan is highly motivated today. Drastov is extremely motivated today. And Nicola doesn't give a fuck.
Drastov's like, your gods are false. The stone's the only thing that lasts.
The rules are relevant for me.
Nicola doesn't care. She just doesn't like the Templars anyway. Okay. Both of you come to the same conclusion. These men were mind-controlled for a very long time. It is most likely the succubus was the reason they were mind-controlled. The spell is going to take time to wear off because they were under its domination for so long. But as long as no one else mind-controls them, they will recover naturally. It's just going to take time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, if Morrigan just does whatever she does and then we let it tick out, it'll take like a week, but they'll get back to normal.
They will live normal lives as long as they are not killed or mind-controlled again before then.
Okay, fair enough. Right.
Would I be able to take another look at this person, see if I recognize him again?
If you've already failed the check, you can't try it again.
I mean, mind you, I was over here when I saw them, so
you've already failed the check. You can't do it again.
Damn.
Maybe a society check to figure out at least his direct rank.
So it's possible if you want to pick through his pockets and look through his gear, you might find some self-identification.
I'll find his wallet.
You want to dig through his stuff? You want to be a hyper hypocrite?
I don't want to mind control him, but I'll fucking...
No, you can't mind control this man. I haven't looted him yet.
Rowan, that's okay. Just let me loot him, and I'll give you all the paperwork you need.
You can loot him after I take all his good stuff.
Lucius.
Speaking of which, it's time.
Was Lucius, were you wanting to say I'll do something?
Well, I was waiting to take my swing because I wasn't waiting for this whole conversation to smash that guy in the face with my stick.
You're just gonna crack this mindless dude with a stick.
Yeah, he fucking just gave me a crit hit. So my reaction was going to be turn around and fucking swing as soon as I saw his defenses were down.
All right, roll damage because he's not going to be able to resist the hit.
It won't.
Well, no, you're going to make an attack roll anyway because you might still miss. No,
That's one.
So wait, hang on. Did he do this like while we were talking, or what? Just
yeah, he's doing this while we're arguing because Lucius don't give a fuck. While we're arguing over what to do, Lucius is like, "You motherfucker!" Just crack and slams the side of that dude's head, who recoils slightly from the impact, and his head is staying cocked to the left where he got smashed. He doesn't recover.
That's all.
Lucius feels mildly better.
All right. Now, before we do any other,
I hope you feel happy.
The room.
I do.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
The stage just absolutely giggling with laughter.
All right, did we agree to let Morrigan dominate this dude?
Theo said yes, Nicola said yes, and Morrigan said yes. I think Drastov said no, Rowan said no, and then
Adeline would have said no as well.
So it's
so my opinion matters anyway. But
Drastov said no, but he wouldn't put himself in for it.
But it sounds like a 3-3 vote basically now.
Lucius has no opinion.
Look, dude, we have a 3-3 vote. Now is not the time to be a fucking fence sitter. What's it gonna be?
It's not a fence sitter. I just don't give a flying fuck if he does if they do it or not.
We've already came to a compromise. Me and Rowan have already agreed that he's going to take the MP back. So that's fine.
That doesn't mean I support it.
All right, do it then.
All right, I will need time. Give me maybe 15 to 20 minutes.
Well,
I'll take these.
I will need quiet. And she takes the man and drags him out into the hallway.
All right, let's loot this place.
You said this is the library?
Yes.
I really don't fucking like this.
You start hearing eerie chanting out in the hallway as you're like, I don't like this shit.
I'm just going to watch
looking for books.
I'm just going to watch over them, V.
All right.
Right.
Well, I'm going to take these Templars as best I can. If I can try to direct them.
They will not obey any commands. But as Morrigan just demonstrated, if you grab one by the hand and start walking, it will like almost zombie-like follow you.
Yeah.
So these men will follow you, but they won't obey commands.
Yeah.
Before this gentleman gets walked out, I have a question. Do they carry any magical gear? Nicola, do a scan.
Magic.
The 3 drones are not carrying magical equipment. The dude that we have selected is.
Well, he can keep his magical shit until a later point.
Theodore, if you said you wanted to help out taking the guys back, I can tell Glace to stand by just now.
No, I'm standing by Morrigan.
That's what I mean. I can tell Glace to do that while you help, because you said you would help take those guys back out of thingy. Remember?
I didn't say I would help. I just said we had that as a compromise.
Oh,
yeah,
when
wouldn't, if I turned back up there, she'll end up trying to start a fight with me. So yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Okay, we are going through the library looking for what we can find. Lucius, I imagine you're perusing the many bookshelves looking for things of interest, right?
Yes.
Give me 2 D100 luck checks. Let's see if you find some good shit. Oh, my.
Well, fuck.
Well, shit. Wait, you have that thing that helps you find stuff, don't you?
Yep.
What is that feat? Let me see it. It's a feat, right?
Yeah, it should be under my feats tab there.
What is it called? Pursue a lead?
Yeah.
That doesn't really apply to this. But I will allow you to re-roll the 7.
Take some German luck. Get something good.
If you fail it this time, you get nothing else, but I'll let you re-roll the 7.
Oh! The German
Now that is one hell of a reroll. Lucius is perusing the books of the library, just scanning his finger, just speed reading all the titles. Lucius has spent many, many hours with his faces in the books. He can scan 3 or 4 pages in a few seconds. He's an avid speed reader. And you go through and through and through and look for anything valuable. You start just taking books off the shelves. Don't pay a lot of attention to what you're grabbing. Anything that sounds interesting. You walk away with a stack of 20 books, and you just vomit the heavy weight of books onto a table to start inventorying what you found. One of them in particular, after you've grabbed it, you pick it up and you're like, I don't need this. And you put it back. You realize that this was a documentary of some old people of names that you don't recognize. I don't want this shit. And you put it back. And as you're about to slide it back onto where it is, you can see that one of the books was rolled in to the bookshelf. Instead of lining up properly, it flattened itself against the back of the shelf. Why? Something this meticulous would not be set that way. And you grab it and you pull it back out. And it feels very cold in your hands, but you touch it. And as you open it, you can see very, very evil, nasty-looking drawings. You think you found a very old and possibly forgotten about spell book of someone who was into some dark shit.
Ooh.
Yeah. Right.
Huh.
As for your other random treasure, you have found documentation of people going where. You have found some financial records of how the circle was making its money. And inside one of the books, you find a key that falls out of the pages.
Okay.
Lucius found some shit. Drestov, give me a perception check twice.
In case it matters, I do have stone cunning, so +2 if it is related to the stone.
Nothing here relates to rocks.
I mean,
that's a nice boulder. I like that boulder.
I like that wall. It was made in 1973 by my great pappy.
Do not get dwarves starting to vomit exposition about stones. You will be here for fucking hours. My pappy once grandfathered this one boy. Like, oh god, here we go. Perception of a 34. You are going through the desks. You're leaving the books to smart people like Lucius with all their book wisdom and no common sense. That's their lot in life. People who are hiding shit don't hide shit in books. They hide shit in desks. And you start going through the desks. And inside one of them, you find a couple of scrolls still rolled up and sealed.
What do they say?
You would have to break the seal, but each one is properly labeled. You have a scroll of banishment and a scroll of fireball. These would be much more useful in the hands of a skilled caster, but those are very strong spells, particularly banishment. That's an amazing spell.
Anything else I should be aware of?
Those are the good things that you find. I think you guys have gotten plenty of treasures out of this.
Does the succubus have anything on her?
The succubus dissolves into ash shortly after she died.
Aww.
Which those who have never seen a demon die is a strange sight to behold. She just starts to fizzle out of existence.
It's like Blade.
Vanish.
Okay.
I'm gonna have my own library by the time this is fucking done.
Yeah, your backpack is getting very heavy with all the books that you keep stealing. It's how I keep in shape.
If you need any help carrying shit, feel free to ask. I don't mind.
Rowan, what are you doing while they are ransacking the library?
Well, yeah, pretty much like I said, I'm taking these guys back to here, and I'm gonna ask Wynn to lower the barrier and just referred to these. I'll say it in character.
Okay, we are going to come back to you because that's going to be a conversation.
Yep.
We have one already queued. Morrigan and Theo. Morrigan is doing whatever it is she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
She has laid the dude down on the ground and is sitting cross-legged in front of him at his feet and is just humming and reciting. Almost sounds like a churchy hymn. It's very positive. It's very uplifting. It doesn't sound dark or demonic. As Theo asks her a question, Morrigan, without opening her eyes, reaches towards her lower back and kind of taps on where her back right pocket would be as she doesn't open her eyes at you.
Cool. I will go in the back right pocket of the man.
He doesn't have a pocket, but you go through his tool belt, his utility belt of things, and you can kind of tell what she's hinting at. You pull a knife. And as you pull that knife, it feels very warm and unusually heavy in your hands. There's something about this thing. You kind of test its weight. It seems like it was perfectly made for throwing at someone, but it is much heavier than a throwing knife would generally be. It's intriguing.
Cool. I'll just pocket that.
Rowan, you approach the barricade that was put back up, and you are trying to get Wynn's attention. She currently has her back turned towards you as she's giving directions that you can't hear. What do you do?
Milady. That's how I would try to get her attention. I've got some Templars here that need help.
She turns with a start towards you and didn't expect you to come back. She walks towards the barrier. Young one, do you realize how much danger you are in working with them?
I know, but something about them just makes me... I don't like them, but and yet I feel compelled to help them. I don't know why.
She sees the 3 drones that are standing around you.
These 3 men, they were affected by a succubus under its spell. I don't know if they'll ever recover. I've heard of people recovering from mind control spells, but I mean, I only read about what succubus can do.
They should recover in time. She
Good.
Understands your intent, and she lowers the barrier to you.
I'm really sorry about this, brothers. No. I won't mention it. I am very tempted to mention it to Wynn. Very fucking tempted. But like...
What do you want to say?
Oh, about that. But I'm like,
well, as mentioned in the previous session, in case you guys remember, the stairs to go up is right the fuck there inside the area Wynn is guarding. So if you want to go to the next floor, you're going to have to go up there, which means dragging Morrigan's new slave past Wynn up the stairs. So just making sure you guys are aware of this.
Yeah.
Morrigan's be like, lick my cunt, bitch, as she walks right past.
Thank you, milady.
The Templars just stand there, swaying slightly, except for the one who had his head cracked in by Lucius's head. He's still kind of hanging to the left.
Yeah, fuck him. He deserved it.
Oh, God.
They're just standing there, not paying any attention to the world around them. They should be safe, at least.
The world sees Templars as evil and heartless.
Not all do. Most people do not understand the hardships of others.
And I know what they have to go through. I don't think... Well, I'm not saying all of them are the same, but I don't think many of them enjoy it. I don't think many of them enjoy taking children from their families. And I would certainly... would I have told Win? How well do I know Win? That's the question.
You don't personally know her. You
Okay.
know who she is.
Okay. Lord knows I would understand. But it's what we have to do. It's our duty. Otherwise... Well, I've seen what magic can do. I've seen both the good and the evil. But that doesn't make it any less easy. Anyway. I suppose I have to get back to them.
Please be aware of the company you keep, Rowan.
I always try. I don't like that, well, for lack of a better term, witch. She looks like the witch from the stories. She can't be... No, she can't be... What's that shit? I just forgot the name. God damn it.
You
I had
are
it in my head.
really reaching. If you want to try to remember this is a society check.
Yeah. But where the fuck is it?
The name you are looking for, the legendary Witch of the Wilds of ancient folklore. Her name is
Yes.
Flemeth. But there's never been a physical description of what Flemeth looks like. There's no pictures or anything like that.
Well, of course not, no.
She's basically a boogeyman that's been a name to frighten children for decades.
Well, either way, I've got a bad feeling about her.
As do I. Returning to Nicola.
Yeah.
Theo handed you something.
He handed me a knife.
RP in game, everyone.
No, I was just doing it because I didn't want to interrupt Rowan, so that's why I'm just doing it in chat, dude, just so you know.
If it was just that, then I would leave it at that. But there is more going on here, so that's why I'm just kind of moving.
Execute order. I completely. I didn't want to just be like a pure douchebag and be like, no, fuck you, Rowan, and just like identify.
Hey, bitch, identify this. Okay, thanks.
So yeah, so as soon as Nicola comes out, I'm going to say, so Nicola, this knife has magical properties. Are you able to identify it to see what it can do?
I may well be. Give me it and I'll have a look.
Yeah, I will hand Nicola the knife.
Nicola, as you are preparing to do that, Glade is behaving very strangely by you.
Be quiet. Sit still, you're fine.
He is very agitated.
I'll give him
He's very fidgety.
I'll give him some rations. Oh, Nicola.
You scarfs him like he always does, but he's still acting very out of character for himself.
I wonder if this is still to do with the spell sheet that bitch put on him.
When you're looking at his eyes, well, Nicholas, is his eyes look normal?
He's confused about what color he is. He's watched too much TV.
There's no like glint over his eyes. Nothing like what we saw before. No.
If you have handle animal, I don't think you do.
Nah.
Nicola does.
Use that. Where is it? Is it Beastmaster? No. Handle animal. What did you say?
You have wild empathy. You can use diplomacy.
Can I assist since I have diplomacy as a skill?
Yeah, can you assist? Because my diplomacy is dog shit.
You're still using handle animal, but you're using diplomacy as a substitute role. So I'd say Theo does not. But you'll get a +2 because you just fed Glaith, and Glaith always thinks with his stomach.
For fuck's sake.
You got this. It's stupid. It uses diplomacy, man. Honestly.
That's about the best I can roll on diplomacy.
It's saying my connection to roll 20 is...
Oh, wait. You can use nature for your handle animal, not diplomacy.
Can I? I'll use that then.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. Glaith is looking at you with a mix of shame and fear. You can tell he feels terrible for acting the way he did, and he's not getting over it.
Hey, Glaith, it's fine. It's all right. We got you snapped out of it. It was fine. It happens.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's fine. Like I said, we got you fixed. It wasn't very long. And we got it sorted.
Nico was so nice to Glaith. He seems to be okay. He sits down and stops fidgeting around. He is getting his hair on end, though, every time he looks at whatever the fuck Morrigan is doing.
Just don't worry about what she's doing. Just don't worry about it. Do you want to go back in? See if there's any food in there? And I'm going to see him go back in the library and see if there's any food.
He is off like a fucking thunderbolt.
Yeah, that's better now. Right, I'll detect this for you.
It doesn't take long before you hear banging and crashing as he starts knocking shit over.
Sorry, just don't worry about that.
Fucking bear. Food!
It's just a bear in a china shop.
Yep, bear in a library now. Alright, Nicola. The item that Theo handed you.
Yes.
It is a knife. Slightly larger than maybe a letter opener. It's very small.
Okay.
It's very well balanced. It reminds you of some of the elven craftsmanship you've seen before. Most human weapons are made overly heavy and large because they just don't have the grace to properly use a cutting edge. They have to put so much brute, just ungainly force behind it to work. The dwarves are even worse. They barely even sharpen their weapons. Just hit things as hard as you can. Elves have a certain finesse to them, and this knife reminds you of that. But you see that there are runes written on the inside of it. What languages do you know?
I don't know.
I imagine
You never picked languages.
Elven and Common, I imagine.
Yeah. I don't know if I did.
You didn't pick languages.
No.
Well,
languages are needed.
You are a caster of some kind, so I'm going to let you walk this, but you're going to update your languages later. You automatically know Common and Elven because of your history. You also know Druidic because you are a Druid, and you have a 2 intelligence, so you get to pick 2 more of your choice.
Okay.
One of them I strongly recommend as a caster is Draconic.
I have Draconic.
You don't have to, but you can. This is an instance where I recommend you have it.
That's fine. I'll have that.
And then you'll get to pick one more of your choice, but have it done later on when you get a free time.
Nicola, we can speak secret now in Draconic.
Most casters know Draconic because magic is generally written in Draconic. The 2 of you seem to notice the runes at the same time, and both of you can read them. Theo is surprised he didn't notice it.
What does it say?
This blade of unerring will always return.
Oh, so you can throw it and it always return at your hand. That's fucking sweet.
Shit.
You have a throwing knife that will always come back to you. That is a very handy improvised weapon.
Very much so.
Perfect. Is that on roll 20? Can I just like That's something I can add as a weapon to my character sheet. I don't need to add it manually. Do you know?
You'll just write it down. It does a D4, but when you throw it, it'll always come back to you as long as it's not physically taken from you. If it lands in a wall or embeds in somebody else, it'll always pull itself free and come back.
Any other runes that are on it?
What?
Any other runes, or is it just unerring? Because
Unerring is what it is.
We should totally throw that on a great axe later.
So it doesn't do a lot, but it is very handy in a pinch when you need some reliable distance damage that you don't want to risk losing. A handy little tool.
So D size is a D4. Sorry, yeah.
It is a D4 damage. It is treated as a thrown weapon. And as long as it's not like caught in the air or physically taken away from you, it'll always reappear on your belt after you throw it.
Is there a way I can add when I'm adding this in, like make it a thrown weapon, or I don't think there is.
You're referring to your character sheet?
Yeah, I'm trying to add that in now. I'll show. Cool.
Well, that'll give you some time to screw with, because it's going to be a bit yet, I think. All right, has everyone done everything they wanted to do? Lucius and Drestov were having a conversation in Dwarven, I believe.
Yes, we were having a brief chat about stuff.
And what were we talking about?
Mostly about all the wonderful things we found.
Lucius is super excited about his books.
Yep,
I mean, hey,
very
look,
much so.
that book is great, but we are keeping that book, by the way. Drastov will not let that book go anywhere else. That's party.
What could be in it? A spell book that the Mage Tower itself tried to hide from other people. There's got to be some shit in there.
My guess is dark magic, mind magic, necromancy, soul magic. Like those four, probably. Maybe necromancy, animation magic.
Since I obviously have some sort of issue here, I don't know what happened just now, but perhaps you should hold this. It might be better safeguarded with you.
What issue?
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but that first bomb that I tried to throw, I tried to hit Theo.
Okay. Well, while everyone else is still chatting, I'm just going to take a brief look at it. Anything special about the book?
It is very, very old. You're more familiar with arms and armor and not particularly household items. But you're a professional guess of working with a lot of craftsmen before. This book could be pushing almost 60 or 70 years old. The pages have dried out, they've stiffened, they've started to yellow, and there is quite a lot of dust on it. It's been a long time since it's open.
What is the title, if I may?
It does not have a title.
Well, what does
it looks to be a spell book, so whoever had it would have kept it. They'd have no reason to write anything on it.
Well, the answer is, what's the first page tell me and the last page? That's the golden rule. First and last page, most important thing.
Can you read magic?
I can read, let me check. Common, Dwarf, Elven, and Draconic.
You can read Draconic, so you can understand some of it. A lot of it is written in things that are not Draconic.
Well,
you see spells. You see spells describing the siphoning of people's spiritual energy. The last page is the description of it. The spell is not titled, but whatever it is, you can make out that it is talking about finger movements and certain words to say that you don't quite understand. But you see the description of it is you're making basically a finger gun at somebody, and that person, their heart stops moving.
Finger of Death, okay. Well, this
Finger of Death is an amazing spell.
Hey, Eric, you just saw today what that spell could do. It is.
I'm
brutal.
well aware. Anyone who's played D&D for a while knows what Finger of Death does, because it's kind of in the description.
Yep. Anyway, that is going straight into the restricted section into my lead-lined box where the warden treaties are.
The only other thing I'd want to do, can I take a moment to do medicine on myself to heal?
Yes.
I will aid you. So take a +2, I believe.
Can I go and ask them for a wee heal too at some point?
Yeah.
I don't want to use magic just yet if I can avoid it.
Yeah.
What's the best
That's
way
enough
then
for it.
for me to do it then? I've got potions.
I
Just
can
to
use another action to use treat wounds on you if you want while he's doing it on himself.
that would be great.
Okay. That's just a normal DC, sorry. So not much more than 2d8.
If you can heal me as well, I'd appreciate it.
Lucius, you do it. My heal rolls are shit right now.
Absolutely.
Hey, still 13.
What does a 25 get me?
25 is 2d8 plus 10. So 24.
2d8 plus 10.
Yeah, 2d8 plus 10.
I'm up to full anyway, so.
So I heal 21. And let me get
And
the
you are now immune to treating wounds for 1 hour, though if Lucius has battlefield medicine, he can still do that.
Okay.
Okay, so I feel pretty good. Theo,
Yes,
you need a little bit of healing?
please.
Okay. Stay still, please.
They'll
Yeah.
stay still. We'll pull in a really dramatic, noble pose.
Does a 24 get the same result?
Yep, it's 15, 20, 30, 40, that's the DC levels. And if you
Alright.
exceed your target DC by 10, it just turns the 2d8 into 48, so 19 for Theo.
Gotcha. There you go. 19 health back.
Thank you.
I'll also there. And if I know this isn't the greatest time, but I don't want to wait until we're done with this tower. I can't explain it. I don't know, and I'm bad at these things. So yeah, sorry. And I know to nobles, I start fidgeting around. I know with nobility, gestures mean stuff. So here, and I'll hand you a vial.
Aww. Theo.
Vile hands of Theo. Vile.
Vileception. Theo say, listen, it's fine. I knew you were you weren't in your right mind. If you were gonna do something, you would be a man about it, and you come up to my face and do it. You wouldn't throw something at me. So,
by the way, this is not a normal little fireball cocktail of sorts. This is a new formula. If we're surrounded by a bunch of undead or spirits, this will you're gonna basically coat your weapon in this, and your weapon will have when you contact something, it will have explosions of positive energy that will hurt undead or spirits. And if there's a spirit, you will be able to now stab it with your rapier.
thank you very much. I appreciate the gesture.